Good morning, students. Welcome you all. This is your commerce period, and we were on the chapter of organizing. Last week we have completed planning, and this time we are proceeding with the chapter of organizing. So far, we have discussed the meaning, importance, the organizing process, and also an organization, a formal organization. So another type of organization, if anyone remembers, actually I told you two names yesterday. One was formal and other was informal organization. So today our topic is discussion about informal organization. Okay, before proceeding, let us recall the objectives of organizing. Why we are doing this chapter. First of all, aids to management, facilitates growth and creativity, ensures optimum use of resources, establish relationship among individual groups. So, as we have done formal organization yesterday, so these objectives are described in it and clear. Another objective, cluster job into units, coordinates, perform an analysis about the work, identifying the work, grouping of activities necessary for attaining objectives, and communication. So, you all know that we are doing organizing chapter, and so far if we go for a mind map, we have to complete all these points, and we have covered organizing importance and meaning steps also. So we were discussing formal and informal organization. Formal we have covered yesterday. Today our topic is informal organization. Prepare your mind and explore the further topics also. So whenever we create such class for these topics, you must have a command over this. Okay, plus 2 class. So we have two types of organization. One is formal, other is informal organization. Informal organization is a network of personal and social relationships. Example, a club, a social network. Again, I am repeating, a network of personal and social relationships. Okay, yesterday I was at my workplace, and one of the employee called me, and she said that let us go outside and have lunch. So me and other 4 employees, actually we all belong to different departments. So when the 4 of us belonging to different departments take our lunch together, so it represents an informal group. Whenever you recall few words, okay, like neighborhood, friendship, hobby groups, sports team, club, what are all these groups? These are informal groups. At work, they can be small groups of friends or co-workers that enjoy similar activities. Something to talk about at work. So what, like neighborhood, friendship, hobby groups, so what is the common between these groups? That these groups voluntarily gather together and they share certain ideas which is not even effective for the formal organization somehow, but they share their views on a particular topic. Sometimes the talk is about at work, sometimes they are talking other than work itself. For example, a very simple water cooler talk. They are talking about the drinking system in their organization. So groups which are natural formations that appear in the work environment. This is very important. That appear in the work environment means informal group exist in the formal group. It is formed because of the formal group. If 4 employees are gathering somewhere, because they were working together, they are coordinated by that formal authority, only then they are in a informal relation. In response to the need of social contact, now they are socially attached with each other, their need of affiliation arise, and now they have to share their views, often frustration also, and it's a let off stream. Let off stream means that they are talking about few things. Sometimes even you people, when you talk in the class, you started with a topic, but your talk or your conversation leads to some other guidance. As you know, like flowers grow in spring, that these days flowers are growing and they are not based on any rule and regulation. Similarly, informal organizations are not based on certain rules. Okay, let me give you some names. The morning coffee regulars, Friday evening bowling team, Sunday afternoon chess group. So what are all these? These are informal groups. They originate within the formal setup. This is very important, that informal organization is created out of a formal organization. But there is no conscious effort. There are no dedicated and devoted efforts in it. Informal groups are the outcome of personal, social and friendly relationship, and it develops spontaneously. That on the spot it develops. It doesn't have any particular planning in advance. You people, okay, simple is like after your class is over and 5 of you decided that today after taking tuitions we will go to see a movie. So that going for a movie in a group of 5 or 6 or in a group of 2 only rather. So that is an informal organization. Informal organizations arises naturally on the basis of some common interest. As we were taking example, like you people want to see a movie, 4 or 5 of you. So if you have interest for the same aspect, only then you are going somewhere. You see in your group, okay, you have a class of 40. In a class of 40, there are 5 or 6 groups, I say. Those who have a very good relation with each other, they are in interaction, they are daily share their even personal issues with each other. So what is this? Because of their common interest, their friendship, and it's not necessary they are associated or not associated. So in a class, so you are associated because you are learning the same subject. But sometimes you are in a relation with a person who is not in your work environment but sometimes socially interacted with you. Okay, very good example these days. Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, TikTok. What is all this? These apps are your informal creations. They are created for social and psychological satisfaction. You want to be a part of the society, you want to be social, a social member. That's why you are in an informal organization. For your psychological satisfaction, someone appeals you. You want to be seated with someone, you want to talk to someone. That's why you are in contact with that. So here, when you talk about informal organization, interaction is free, more and number. It's not every time necessary that 2 persons are interacting. It can be 20 also. Pride, this type of organization creates a sense of pride among people. They motivate each other. They create an urge in each other to do something. And again, if formal is a teamwork, again informal is also a teamwork. Not a single person can perform any task, but there is an information flow. Political environment. Okay, this point is little bit important. In an organization, as we are saying that formal arises due to informal. So in that case, what happens? Like if there is not very congenial atmosphere in the organization, if there is leg pulling, if there is not proper vision of your work, if there is no control of the authority, and in that case they keep on dividing you, they keep on only ruling you, then informal organization no doubt arises, but it will be based on politics, demographics. It will not be a friendly one. Okay, let us take an example. I have drawn a chart here. So it's a company, right? A formal group organization is existing here. Now you all must be clear that this chart is representing a formal group, a president who is instructing vice presidents further supervising the divisional managers, division A, B and C. Further divisional managers are managing the departments. So in this case, it's a formal group. I have drawn these lines here and named it as grapevine. Like vice president 1 is in relation with the department A and vice president 2 is in relation with divisional manager B and department C. Vice president 3rd has a relation with the managers of B and C and also with department B. So it's a all mess up. It's all a grapevine. So what's a grapevine? You see a bunch of grapes, and what do you see in that? That all grapes are in a cluster, but you don't know where it is, where is it actually originated. So same is this case here. Communication is free. They can communicate with each other. They are ready to share their views. They are socially interacting, and there is no limit on the managerial levels. There is no limit of the authority. They are voluntarily interacting with each other to share few views. So, what is grapevine? A grapevine is a channel of communication in which people at different levels are free to exchange their ideas. So, next is features of informal groups. Okay, first one shows social relationships. Informal association shows human relation among people. It has no definite structure or form. Its membership is voluntary. It is not based on any restriction. Invisible. There is no chart of formal organization. As we have just done grapevine, so we are highlighting the people who are in touch or who are in a group, but there is no particular flow of the authority in that. No boundaries. It may cut across departments, and people from different positions may become member of an informal group to fulfill their social needs. Spontaneous. It is unplanned. It is spontaneous. It can be made anywhere, anytime. It is based on common interest, common taste, the attitude, common culture, common values. It has no norms. It has no written rules and regulations, and the standard of behavior evolve from group norms, that whatever the group wants to make it rules, it proceed with the same. So people who connect and form a subculture within the overall organization, like we people are in a school, we go to teach there. So a culture is there which we have to follow. That is formal assistance. Then few of us connect to form a subculture in which our own rules and regulations are going to be done, and that is within the formal organization. Impact of such groups can be great either for or against the mission of your organization. Sometimes such groups are in a favor of the organization and they always talk positive, but sometimes few informal groups are formed to talk in adverse manner for the organization, to create a political environment in the organization, to create mess, chaos, conflicts in the organization. So for example, if we have lunch together, a carpool, play together, work together, and why we all do that? For common interest, as we share common language, and for other personal relationships. Okay, very nice example. Suppose if you people in these days also, if you are living nearby to your houses, and you are creating a study group that to help each other, listening to the videos, making your notes, and you are in a group of 5 to 6 students and you are studying collectively, right? And then what is it? An informal group. Next we have to talk about advantages of such organizations. First of all, fulfill social needs. It helps to fulfill social needs and provides employees with a sense of belonging and self-worth. It creates a sense of belonging among them, and moreover inculcates self-worth. They will be realizing that who are they, what they can do, what are their internal strength which they can explore. It provides congenial environment for innovation. Moreover, they help you to create. It provides support to the formal organization. It contributes towards fulfillment of objectives. It reduces gaps in organization. Okay, an example, for example, employees' reaction. A policy is made in the organization, and how do employees react? If they react on the spot, that is in formal limits. And if they react afterwards in a group, that is informal network. Informal organization creates the easy review and helps in no communication gap, as it helps members to ventilate their emotions and feelings, a faster spread of information and quick feedback. So there is no prescribed limit of communication. They provide solution to the work problems. People share their job knowledge, exchange their guidance, and help each other in jobs also. It helps to protect members from burden, from pressure, and provides a check on the actions of managers also, because sometimes managers knows that this is a group which is very powerful in the formal observation, and they are having a particular support of each other, and they can check their arbitrary actions also. So let me take an example. I have drawn a chart here. So these 5 are the employees in an organization, and their names are Tanya, Chris, Carol, Ketan and Jack. Now see, Chris is interacting with Jack, Tanya is interacting with Ketan, Carol shares and interacts with Chris, similarly Jack with Ketan. So all are in a grapevine, that is informal group. Now every concept has some pros and cons. So pros we have discussed. Now we have to discuss the disadvantages also. The demerits of informal organization. Informal systems can help, and sometimes it has a tendency to spread rumor. Rumors may not be correct. Sometimes they are unverified, they are not true, and they create undesirable atmosphere. It will work against the interest of formal organization. For example, suppose if rumor occur in the organization that management is changing its policy, it's only a rumor. So sometimes it may affect the mind of the person. He may get frustrated. He may talk to the management in not in a pleasant way. So these rumors create conflicts in the organization. Also, when an employee is a member of both formal and informal group, he has to face conflicts. He has to be a part of role conflicts. He has not done anything, but he is indulged in it. It overemphasizes individual interest than the interest of the organization. Organization interest is lacking here. It gives rise to conflicting rules, and the rules are in contradiction with the performance of formal groups. There is resistance to change as informal groups preserve and they do not prefer anything new. They do not want to change themselves. There is no formal leadership and they are based on rules and regulations of formal organizations somehow. But they are not working on the basic rules. So we have discussed about formal and informal organization. There is a difference between two. Now you have done both formal and informal organization. Formal organization is an official network and informal is a personal and social network. Formal organization is to complete tasks. Informal is for member satisfaction. Formal is only focusing on the completion of tasks, but informal is based on relations. Formal group is influenced by authority, but informal groups are influenced by personality. Like if you are having an appealing personality, or sometimes someone appeals you, only then you join that group. Formal groups are controllable, but informal groups are socially sanctioned. That you are a social person, you want to interact with someone, you have few feelings, emotions to share, and that's why you are independent to form a group. So now we have discussed about formal and informal organization. Also, there exists a difference between the two on the basis of their purpose, on the basis of their structure, the leaders and the dependents. Now, for you people, do follow the given link for better clarity of your concepts. Go through the explanation, listen to the video and have a hold on the topic. Read page number 224 till 227 thoroughly. Go through the explanation, underline the key terms and attempt those key terms in your fair notebook also. Other than that, answer the questions. What is an informal organization? Give its features. Discuss the merits of informal organization. Differentiate in between formal and informal organization. Okay, class plus 2. So, whenever you write a difference, write it in 3 parts. First, write basis, then formal group, then informal group in a tabular form. So this is more appealing for your board exam. So whenever you make a difference, learn it to make it in this way, that you're making in a tabular form, not in paragraph. Thank you.